I'm Elise Baughman. I'm the voice of Pan on Dragon Ball GT and Momiji's mother on Fruits Basket, and I am so excited to be with Caitlin Glass.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. Most of you know me as Winry Rockbell from Fullmetal Alchemist, or Haruhi Fujioka in Ouran High School Host Club, or most recently Mina Ashido in My Hero Academia.
Yes, and this is Anime Adventures, where I talk to anime voice actors. So in just a bit, I will be talking with Caitlin, so stay tuned. So we are here at the My Hero convention, and I'm so excited to talk to you. You have actually directed me before. We'll talk about that later, but we have to start with My Hero and your character on My Hero. How much fun have you had doing the My Hero show?
So much fun. I really wish that Mina were in the show a bit more, but I relish every time I get to step in the booth and be her, because she's so energetic. She's really positive. And I think that's great. Like, hardly anything gets her down. She's always looking for the silver lining or how we can make something better. And I think that's really exciting. And she just has a lot of energy. She's like the social director of the crew. She's so fun. Really, really fun.
We all need that, right? To look for the silver lining and always find the best in things.
For real.
Why do you think that the show connects with people of all ages? Or even what you've heard from fans? Like, what's your take on that?
I think that as an anime, it came along at just the right time and the height of all of the superhero craziness in movies and TV shows. When you think of how many more, all the MCU movies, all the Marvel movies, and even new DC movies and DC TV shows, and everything has been superhero based for, it seems like, the last, decade or so. And nothing had really hit animation-wise until My Hero, which has now been around for probably 5 years, I guess, but just really getting insane now. So I think even people that weren't anime fans could get into it because they like comic books, or they like superheroes. So maybe the kids in the household, young teens, they like anime, and their parents can get into it because it's a bit more approachable. It's not really too weird. Some anime out there is really like, what on earth and why are they doing that with their face and what the heck? This is like, it's a superhero show. Okay, great. So there's that. But what's cool is that everybody, for most people in the world of the show, are the heroes, and it has a really great message that anyone can be a hero, like regardless of what your gifts are, you can do it.
I love that part of it.
And somebody needs you to be. You're someone's hero, regardless.
I love that part of it. Very well said. It's such a good message. Yes, everyone needs you. Everyone can be a hero. Yeah. And I actually hadn't heard the answer about with all of the superhero stuff that's been going on the past 10 years. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a new one for me. Yeah, well, let's talk about some of your other characters, because you've done so much. And you've done acting and directing.
Sure.
Yeah.
People really love this gal right here. This is Haruhi Fujioka from Ouran High School Host Club. I hear mostly that this is my first anime. That's what fans say when they come up. It's their first anime that they ever saw for a lot of them. And so it's fun because I get kids come up, they look like they're 12 years old, and it's literally their first anime, and I'm like, oh, when did you first see it? And they're like, last month. But other people come up, and they're older than that. They're my age or older than me, and I get like people's parents. They watched Ouran when their kids were 12, 10 years ago. This show came out for us 2008, 2006 in Japan, 2008 here. But it's been on Netflix almost ever since, and it remains there. So it's a lot of people have access to it. So it's a great first anime.
That's crazy that adults have enjoyed it, and now young kids are enjoying it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of
timeless.
It is. It's very evergreen in that way, and many of the themes in it, specifically for my character Haruhi, seem to resonate even more in our current state of the world, in that she's a kind of androgynous female character. So I think there are a lot of girls out there that identify with
connect with that,
and don't see characters like that animated very often. So it's really appealing. So this is Winry from Brotherhood, but I did play Winry in both the original Fullmetal and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is mainly my new headshot. And
I love the new
then there's Winry. Yes, I'm a fabulous photographer.
Another one that is so great.
That one is also a very evergreen show.
Yes.
And while it is more complex than, say, My Hero Academia, it's still very approachable, too. I think the themes of sacrifice is a big one that a lot of people can recognize, sacrifice and forgiveness. And
yeah, that's what's pretty cool about anime. I feel like there's something for everybody, and then there are themes that are kind of universal that people really can connect with or learn from. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. This one folks are really into, and I'm happy about that, is Kyoko Kirigiri from Danganronpa, which is a video game series and an anime. But I'm actually just her in anime only.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear this. They're doing cheers.
They're having a lot of fun. The fans at this con are so excited to be here and just run around. I've never been at a convention that is themed towards one show. So this is my first time.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been to a Dragon Ball only themed show. It's so cool to see only My Hero people. Like, great cosplay.
Costume-wise, now that you mention that, it's true. Nobody is cosplaying anything else.
Yeah.
I've seen.
I know. Yeah.
It's really fun, though.
If we do see that, we'll have to tell them they're lost.
Okay, well, speaking of Dragon Ball,
let's pull out the Dragon Ball.
I play Vados in Dragon Ball Super, who is an angel from Universe 6, so I have to run around with Lord Champa all the time. And my goodness, he keeps my hands full. He's a mess. I love this one. I love playing opposite Ian Sinclair.
Oh, Ian's great. I've had him on my show.
So many. Lots of fun characters.
And you know what I want to talk about? Fruits Basket.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about Fruits Basket.
Because she's directed the show.
Yes.
Yes, and it was pretty cool because I played, and we were talking about pronunciations. In the original Fruits Basket, I was two characters, including the original was Momiji, right?
Yes.
And now it's Momiji. Well, I was not Momiji, but Momiji's mother.
Right. The pronunciation changed.
Yeah, the pronunciation changed, and the accent changed. So I was totally American in the first. Had to do a German accent. You were fantastic.
Oh,
because
thanks.
I had to Google and watch YouTube videos.
Your husband helped.
My husband speaks a little German, so he helped. And but you
did a great job.
Did an amazing job directing me. But an amazing job on the show.
Thank you.
I mean, I've been reading comments about the show, and people just love it and love what you have done.
Thank you.
How was that? And especially, what was your process since I had been done at Funimation, but then they came in and it was done a lot differently this time.
Right. So obviously I have no control over how the Japanese choose to animate it and how they choose to present the story this time around. And the casting was even not entirely decided by me. It was like, here's the cast, obviously, because we'd already done it before. But here's some changes that need to be made based on geography now. Different people live different places, stuff like that. But the feeling, the overall, I guess, vibe of the show it's a strange balance between just this beautiful, nostalgic, feels like you're inside of a memory the whole time, and then really zany comedy. And I like that, and I kind of learned how to do that a lot with Ouran High School Host Club, actually. It's a lot. It feels a lot like that. And when Ouran was out, many people compared it to the original Fruits Basket. And having read the whole manga, so I knew the whole story, that really helped to set the tone. And knowing that the new show's purpose was to tell that whole story in full, as the creator intended. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I have this Bible, so to speak, in these volumes on how to make this work. And I really love slice of life shows. That's my favorite type of show to direct. So I tend to think cinematically in terms of voices and how I want people's reads to play out. Obviously, when zany, crazy stuff is going on, or the real mutated, stylized animation, well, that calls for different things in your voice at that time. But the majority of the time, I would like for the show to not sound like a cartoon. Like if you closed your eyes, or you were in another room and you heard this on television, you wouldn't know that it was an animated show.
Interesting.
I want that. That's my goal.
Yeah. Now, I think I heard a story that involved Nathanael and Vale.
Yes. both of those people.
Yes.
You are correct.
Both of whom I love.
I love them too.
So how did that come about?
So I know Nathanael from church, or like friend of a church friend, and I hadn't known him very long, but he's like, I heard that you like anime. This is back in 2004. And I said, yeah, I do. And he goes, well, I just got this job at this place called Funimation. And seriously, like maybe a month or a couple months before that, it finally clicked to me that Funimation was where I lived. I didn't know. Like, I watched anime. It was fun. I've watched it since I was a teenager. And I had only just realized where it was located because I actually, I watched all the way through the credits of something. Like, and I went, Fort Worth, Texas? Oh, I live there. Like, that's crazy. And then like a month later, Nathanael says, hey, I work at that place. I'm like, you do not. And he said, yeah.
Stop.
He's like, do you want a tour? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he knew that I was an actor. He's like, I can't like promise you anything. He said, I'm an engineer. I don't even know how to get you any of that. But if you just want to come see the studio, I said, absolutely. I would love to see the studio. So he took me there one, Thursday, showed me around, and Eric comes into the picture because Funimation used to be in a bank building, and you just go in, and as you go around the halls of what looks like offices, you open a door and, there's a sound booth in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So he takes me into studio, whichever studio it was at the time, and Eric Vale was in there as a director on Yu Yu Hakusho. But they weren't recording anyone at the time, which is kind of a great time to go in on a tour because you aren't interrupting anything.
Yes.
And they can talk to you for a while. So I felt Eric's there, and he's got his papers, and he's just kind of doing his thing, like, oh, hey, Nathanael, what's up? Writing, whatever, not really paying attention, as if tours come in all the time, and hey, yeah, whatever, welcome to Funimation, right? So he says, cool, what do you do? And then I said, well, I'm an actor, I'm a theater student, I'm about to graduate. And he's like, really? Okay, here, get in the booth. And he hands me like the script that's in his hand. Is get in the booth right now. And I'm like, okay. And I thought that this was just what they do on tours. Like, I didn't know. I'm like, all right.
Like, part of the
tour.
tour.
Part of the tour. Let's show you a booth, right? So I get in the booth, and he's going, this is how a script works. Put these headphones on. You're going to hear these beeps. And after the third one, say this line here, you're going to be so-and-so. Some bit part.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So he played it for me once in Japanese, and then we did it in English. And then maybe we did it a second time. And my line was, ugly creep, how about I mace you? Yeah, and I don't know if it was like the pepper spray kind or like the metal ball on a stick kind. I like to think it's the latter. Like there's just some woman walking around the streets of Japan with a mace. Yeah. So that was the line. I said it a couple times. And then I came out, and he's like, that was great. Give your info to Tara down the hall, and you can work here.
And you're like, is this part of the tour, too?
Exactly. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Info? I kept trying to give him my resume and headshot because I had them. Because I'm a good, smart actor. I always had them with me. I learned that in theater school.
Yes.
He's like, we really don't need that. He said, we're about to start on this new show called Case Closed, and we just need a lot more actors than we currently have. So I was just there at the perfect time. That was a Thursday. I came in the following Sunday, like 3 days later.
What?
Yeah. And
does Nathanael get a nice present for Christmas every year?
He often does, yes.
I think you have one coming, Nathanael.
So it was pretty cool 3 days later.
That is crazy.
And Christopher Sabat was my first director. Of all people.
Of all people, yes.
And I was trying not to freak out because I watched Dragon Ball, so I knew who that was when I went in. Like, this is fine. This is all fine.
This is fine. I am calm, collected.
Yes,
I
am now a working actor.
That is crazy. I love that you just thought it was part of the tour.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to go read.
Get in the booth. Yeah.
That is great. Wow. Sometimes things just, you think it's a lucky story, except you were doing the work, you've gone to school, you were preparing.
And that's what I tell fans
on
panels. Yeah. I could have been an actor, but if I didn't have any confidence and skill that I'd learned, or if I didn't even know how to fake it till I make it, which is another thing, they're like, you have two things on your resume, be very proud of those two things, So
use large font, be really proud. So, I think that's how I started.
Right? But it's true. I think that if I had not been preparing, then I wouldn't have been prepared, obviously.
Yes. Well, that is a crazy story. I love it. Well, that's a great thing to end on. Let's end and say goodbye in a character voice. Which one should you
let's
say?
see. Probably I'll do Haruhi's voice.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks everybody for joining us. Once again, I'm Caitlin Glass, the voice of Haruhi Fujioka, and this has been Anime Adventures. See ya.
See you later. Bye.